Hello and welcome again to another week of Tech News. And before we begin, a quick reminder for everyone to click on the subscribe button because it's free and it does really help us in what we do. More on that later. For now, let's just dive right into it. So last week, we talked about Gigabyte and GALAX having a light hash rate or LHR model available for their GPUs. Well, it seems that Korea will be receiving the first batch of the LHR version, as the GALAX RTX 3060 LHR has been listed on Oversystem website with a price tag of $966, which converts to roughly 3,993 ringgit. Now, here's the weird thing. Nvidia didn't mention they were going to do an LHR version of the RTX 3060. Nvidia officially announced that LHR series will include RTX 3080, 3070 and 3060 Ti. But 3060 already had decreased hash rate performance, so there wasn't really any need to include the 3060 into the LHR series. Thankfully, to avoid confusion, at least some board partners decided to treat the updated 3060 model as LHR, which should simplify the process of deciding which graphics card to buy. In terms of differences, there's not much, as both technically have a lower hash rate already, but the LHR version carries a new GPU called GA106-302. This version ensures that no existing hash rate limiter removing tricks would work with this card, as it carries a different PCI device ID, forcing the use of a new driver. Basically, even if miners got their hands on this, they still would not be able to use it, so good news there for gamers. So currently, we all know it's very hard to get individual parts for PC building, and one of the options most people recommend, including ourselves, is to try and find a pre-built PC. Apparently, the official Razer store on Chinese Tmall is already taking pre-orders on its desktop systems equipped with RTX 3080 Ti and RTX 3070 graphics cards. The offer isn't quite straightforward and the description doesn't always appear to match the specs, but recently they have updated the store page partially. The price of this ranges from $2,098 or 8,672 ringgit for the Ryzen 5 variant to the $6,217 or 25,698 ringgit for the Ryzen 9 5900X with an RTX 3090. Yeah, with this price, I don't think most of us are gonna be able to afford this anytime soon. Now, a serial leaker who goes by Executable Fix or ExecuFix on Twitter has provided a sneak peek on the AMD line for their up-and-coming Zen 4 consumer chips, along with a couple of details about what AMD's Raphael chip is. Now, obviously, it's not a real-life photograph of AMD's next biggest chip, but it's something Executable Fix created to showcase what we're getting for when the Zen 4 does drop. Keep in mind, Zen 4 is not due till fall of 2022, so a lot of things can change from here till then. We'll be sure to update you on this in our future videos when more info is leaked. Until then, stay tuned. Next up, 4 new Ryzen 5000 laptops have just been released courtesy of Xiaomi's subsidiary Redmi. While there are 4 Ryzen joining the Redmi line, only 2 models are presented with it, that being the Redmi Pro 14 and Redmi Pro 15. Redmi Pro 14 will either have a Ryzen 5 5500U or Ryzen 7 5700U, and Redmi Pro 5 with a Ryzen 5 5600H or Ryzen 7 5800H. The price ranges from $672 to $820, which is about 2,778 ringgit to 3,390 ringgit. The main issue is that it's hard to find these prices outside of China, especially the AMD variant. Most likely we'll get the Intel variant of these laptops instead. However, it is possible to get these laptops from third-party websites like Banggood and AliExpress, but at prices nowhere near those offered by Redmi to buyers in China. Guess you guys just have to stick with the offers we have here at Build Digital. Stick around to find out more. Speaking of laptops, on May 2021, Gigabyte released their next generation of Aero Creator and Aorus gaming laptop. Currently there are 2 models, the A5 and A7, both made for multitasking. Beyond gaming, A7 laptop is Gigabyte's first mid-end gaming laptops to be equipped with Ryzen 5000H series mobile processors and GeForce RTX 30 series laptop GPUs. The showcase model would be the Gigabyte A7 model, which comes with a 17-inch display with a 144Hz refresh rate, sporting a Ryzen 9 5900HX mobile processor with Zen 3 architecture with 8 cores and 16 threads. It can also support up to RTX 3070 GPU, 32GB of RAM, and Wi-Fi 6 technology. We'll drop the link for the full article in the description of this video if you want to know more on the specifics. Alright, we all know that sometimes companies can mess things up a bit. Well, this is no different as OnePlus accidentally confirmed the release date of their OnePlus Nord 2 phone. Now let's take you guys back to the timeline of this. In the frequently asked questions section, the company mentioned OnePlus Nord 2 in the list of the supported phones, confirming the existence of the OnePlus Nord successor. Additionally, OnePlus is expected to launch 2 new phones in June, and one of them is suspected to be this new phone. There's also some kind of evidence on this, since last year they released the OnePlus Nord in India on July of 2020, and it's expected to launch a successor for it this year. We may be stretching and using our tinfoil hats a bit too much, but there is a lot of evidence on the Nord 2 that is coming very soon. When it comes to PC parts, heat usually is the enemy number one, hence why frequency and performance benchmark records typically need liquid nitrogen cooling. SSDs aren't really there yet, but Gigabyte did chuck a set of heat pipes and a thick cooler on their Aorus Gen 4 7000 Premium, and get this, according to them, it will never throttle. Now, according to Gigabyte's exact wording, it delivers up to a 7GB per second read speed while optimizing passive thermal dissipation, which promises no throttling under long-lasting operation. The fine print, however, also notes that actual performance may vary under different circumstances. Although not fully limit tested yet, it is apparently already in the market, but none can be found currently, although it is expected to show up very soon, so keep your eyes out on that. And that wraps up for this week's tech news. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it or find it informative, and consider subscribing for similar contents like this in the future, and leave a comment on what you think of the video and what we can improve on. We do read the comments. And do check out our other social media pages as well. We have weekly deals on PC products. We'll share the links down below. We also have some other videos for you to check out at the end of this one. But that is all for now, and we will see you next week for more tech news. Take care.